Hello all, Marty T. Hawkins here with Warehouse and Operations as a Career, where we talk about what we do, what we are passionate about, which is the many warehousing, transportation, and operations careers that are available to us. We really do have a lot of fun with the podcast and try our best to get to all your questions and thoughts about the jobs and the task we as associates perform each day. As I've mentioned before now, please don't hold us to too high of expectations regarding our audio and production capabilities. We're kind of learning as we go. We're just honestly ops guys sharing our experiences in the industry and wanting to hear about yours. All of our guests that we have on from time to time, they're all volunteers and really enjoy sharing their experiences and expertise with our WAOC group. And I myself, or personally, I really enjoy our Facebook and Twitter feeds too. Look us up using that little @sign, WHSEANDOPS. And we like the Warehouse Equipment Operators Community group on Facebook also. If you are enjoying the shows each week, shoot us an email to host@warehouseandoperationsasacareer.com. It's great seeing all the communications each week. You know, lately I've sensed a lot of, I'll call it frustration lately when I'm out and about. So today I'd like to talk a little bit about that. Earlier this week, I was hanging around a recruiting office and met a young lady that was seeking employment. A really frustrated applicant that turned out to be, I guess you could say at her wits' end, searching for employment. She came in and greeted everyone. She really kind of seemed to be in a great mood. It was around mid-morning, and she was able to be seen immediately by our recruiter and got all set up to fill out an online application. You know, online applications seem to be everywhere now. Don't you long for the good old days when paper was king? Computers can be finicky for me, and it seems there's so many more lines on an electronic application than there used to be on the paper long form. Anyway, she completed it and was seen immediately by a hiring agent where a position was discussed between the two. Something that she'd be perfect for, by the way. A really good opportunity, I think. After the recruiter had spoke with her, she was setting up her drug screen and explaining the process for her second interview. Really more of a formality, I think, in her case. And that's about when things kind of came unraveled for her. You know, job hunting is tough, and it's really stressful. It sounded like that she had already been on an interview earlier that morning, possibly several the day before, and I think hearing that there'd be a second interview was just more than she could hear at that moment. She became really frustrated, almost emotional, and just left stating that she needed work today. Look, it's really hard out there. The hiring process can take time. As we've discussed a couple of times here on WAOC, in many instances we can make it a little easier by keeping our heads, know and understand what we're wanting or what we're looking for. I think it's important that we do a little research on prospective employers. We can make a list, even a long list of places, with the jobs, the hours and schedules and the opportunities that we're looking for. Even when exploring temporary agencies or staffing companies, we need to know what their offerings truly are. It's pretty easy to find out what companies that they're sourcing for and making sure it'll be a fit for us and our families. It's really tough. We may have been out of work for a while and need a job that starts right now, today. But that could kind of hurt us more than it helps us. I suggest whenever possible, and I know life gets in our way more often than not, but whenever we can, that we attack our job searches and inquiries as responsibly as possible. Attack it in the way that we're going to perform at our task that we're hired for. I think this position could have been perfect for her, and she'd have been a great fit for the company. It was just really the wrong day, or maybe the wrong hour for her. She just wasn't ready and maybe a bit worn out. Job searching is tough, but we can prepare for it and make it pay off in our favor. Her story brings to mind a call I received early last month. A gentleman was a little unhappy where he was working. No immediate or daily issues there. He just wanted to know if I knew of any other jobs hiring in his area. Now, he's a pretty talented order selector, and finding another job in his particular market wasn't going to be necessarily difficult for him, and I encouraged him to stick it out for a couple of weeks, put his feelers out there, make a couple of inquiries or get some apps filled out, and be sure to give a notice to his present employer when he found something that he thought that he'd be happier doing. Well, with his unhappiness already on his mind, he decided not to go in that evening or call his employer and let them know that he wouldn't be coming back. Ladies and gentlemen, try and avoid handling situations in that matter. It's just not what prospective employers want to hear when those reference checks are being made. Now, I'm not talking about an unsafe or hostile environment. By all means, we can't keep ourselves in those situations, but it is so important that we keep our workplace reputation as intact as we do our personal reputations. Well, it's been almost 30 days later now, and he's finding that full-time position is a little harder to land than he'd thought. He's working in a temp-to-perm position right now, but boy, does he wish that he'd done things a little differently. I think he's going to be fine, but it'd have been a lot better to have worked off of a plan instead of just throwing in the towel like he did. Frustration is our enemy, isn't it? Almost everyone needs to work. I think it's good for us to always stay busy. We're humans and kind of need some structure. But we all have outside lives too. Family issues can strain us. Our kids present challenges to us daily. Oh, and we have bills. Bills is another stressor also. I generally find people don't walk or can't walk away from those things. We handle them and work them out. We figure everything out, right? I believe we should handle our work life in much the same way. Our jobs aren't the most important things in our lives, but without one, those other stressors aren't going to get any better. I can't imagine having no job or income is going to help correct any other issues that we have. As a manager, I try and realize humans are people, and people need a little help occasionally. For us as employees, remember the advantages of going and speaking with, or communicating. That's a good word. It's important that we speak with our management team about our frustrations, no matter how small or large that they are. I've always found miscommunication or no communication is the only communication that can't fix any issue. I wanted to mention that last Saturday, we had a local meetup at a meeting room here in Dallas, Texas. We had a blast talking about ops and helping a few people create or just clean up their resumes. Check out Warehouse and Operations Careers at meetup.com if you're in the Dallas Metroplex. I think they're planning on having one each month. Maybe if enough of us check it out, we can get together maybe every other week or so. If for nothing else, the free resume and career coaching help being offered is a lot of fun. I'm going to try and run down Joe for next week, one of our Got All the Answers ops guys, and let him tell us about how narrow aisles came to be and the differences in forward steer and reverse steer units regarding our stand-up forklifts. Shoot me an email to host@warehouseandoperationsasacareer.com if you'd like to share any thoughts or experiences on which kind of unit that you prefer. Oh, and you know what? If you remember on our Taste of Oak Cliff episode, Joe was telling us about a distribution training center he's helping put together. Maybe we can pry a bit more information about that out of him. So thanks for listening in this week, and please share our show with any ops friends that may find some value with our WAOC group. Until next week, please try and be less frustrated at the workplace and life both, and keep safety as our first priority each shift. We all have others counting on us.